Insomniac is really a major player on PlayStation 5 these days. After adding all manner of options to Marvel's Spider-Man's Miles Morales, including multiple frame rate and visual fidelity options, it now seems the developer has done the same thing with the recent big-budget PS5 exclusive Ratchet Clank Rift Apart. It's all part of the latest update which just got released for Rift Apart, which adds a lot of fixes to glitches, such as an issue where the weapon vendor text would be illegible in retro mode, or where the camera would get stuck on the Blizzard Prime level. There's also a fix for when the collectible items called Zerp Stones would vanish if you leave the planet, and given that Rift Apart isn't a tricky game to get the Platinum trophy on, it'll have been very upsetting to some people who encountered that glitch. And there's also various other updates that add up to a more polished game. Outside of these fixes, the biggest draw to revisit the game will be the fact that it now has a 120Hz display mode, but it's important to note this doesn't mean it will display at 120 frames per second. Instead, it means that there will be less input latency when using a display that can display at 120Hz. And it also pushes frame rate to 40 FPS in the fidelity mode. There are various other new features such as the ability to add backgrounds to photo mode, and you can now skip cutscenes via a bindable option on the D-pad. You can also now disable the level up message and slowdown, and you can even disable the visual effects when the Phantom Dash button is pressed. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart has done very well for Insomniac and Sony so far, topping the physical UK charts for a few weeks before Mario Golf Super Rush finally knocked it off the top spot. At NME.com, we gave the game 4 out of 5 stars, praising the DualSense implementation, satisfying combat, and ridiculously Pixar-like visuals, only really having issues with the story being merely serviceable and the fact that the interdimensional mechanics are a bit underused. So for more on this game and every other game out there, head to NME.com.